Hello everyone, my name is Brian and I'm back to present my second video chronicling this FM22 save. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who replied, and especially those who helped point out where I got some pronunciations wrong. As you may be able to tell, I'm from the Midwestern United States, and so I let that get the better of me pronouncing Salisbury as Salisbury when I should have known better. I feel less bad about messing up Hayes and Yetting as Hayes and Yeeting, but now I know. And so apologies in advance about any further mispronunciations, whether it be clubs or players, and I appreciate anyone paying enough attention to want to correct me. I plan on releasing 2, maybe 3 videos for every in-game year. It's a little different down in the Southern Premier Division, Premier South, as we don't really have clear transfer windows that open and close to plan around. However, you can see I still basically abided by the conventional window structure, but I did run into problems. I wanted to set certain players for release so that they wouldn't be on the books for next year so I could make signings for the next year, but by doing so they were set to release a month earlier at the end of May rather than the full length of their contracts at the end of June. And while I hadn't done this with anyone essential, I did lose one starter and most of my depth to this issue because at very least in this season, games extend into June, including the promotion playoffs. So I had to scramble to fill some spots and loaned in several players who aren't really good enough players for the team just to fill spots. I did, however, manage to sign 2 players who are free agents to play at the end of this year and all of next year. Jack Hickman on the right and Iraqi national team player Ali Al-Hamidi to pair with Devin Arnold up top. Very excited for Ali going forward. As you can see, picking up on the schedule, after we lost that game to Hayes and Yetting, we lost the next match to Yate, which was frustrating, but we rebought ourselves some space at the top of the division with 4 straight wins, and then a win in the SLC quarterfinals. However, we had an oddly terrible March, with 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses. We never lost our grip on first place, but H&Y got up real close to us. Luckily, we opened things back up with 5 straight wins in April, including a victory over Hayes and Yetting in the SLC semifinals. We drew too many games in May, but with 2 weeks to play, we were 5 points up on second place with 1 game left for us and 2 for them. We had a relatively dominant 2-1 victory in the Southern Premier Cup finals, with Ali Al-Hamidi scoring in his debut and the shutout being ruined by Walden Casuals in the 5th minutes of stoppage time. H&Y won their game, leaving us 2 points clear going into the final game of the year. We had a massive goal differential lead, so the only thing that could derail us from winning the Southern Premier League Premier South would be a loss and an H&Y win. Devin Arnold wanted to leave no doubt, and so he poured in 4 goals in the final 51 minutes to give us a 5-2 victory and the league title. I did have a misunderstanding in regards to the promotion playoff. 12 teams do advance them from 4 divisions. From there, divisional winners play third-place teams, and second-place teams pair off in 6 matches, and the 6 advancing teams get drawn together in a fashion that I'm not quite sure about. Could be random, could be structured. And those 3 teams that win earn promotion to the Vanarama National League North or South. So our first of 2, hopefully, games we're playing right here is against Gainsborough, the 3rd-place finishers in the English Northern Premier Division. We will head into the tactical meeting. The assistant coach thinks we move to balanced. I'm fine with that. I do not like shoot on sight. I believe the 10 players tend to just blast the ball in those cases. Nothing we do by match business. I really wish I could get rid of this instruction. I have set the line higher, and that's what I want. But it's always like, well, you didn't originally have it that way, but that's how I want it now. We go to team selection, and as you can see, we have depth issues. We are missing a 7th player we can actually play, as all of these loanees are ineligible, and Patrick Casey here, who isn't very good at all, but we aren't actually paying only per appearance, can't actually play because he was on another team in this year. And a lot of these subs, in particular the defensive midfielders here, are only 1-star players, so they can be limited. So we are going to have to run our horses, as it were, for most of the game. We will submit the team as we have already confirmed we are happy with what they're doing. Move into the dressing room, press that player, and we will pump our fists. Oh. And let's try and get the guys hyped. Mostly good reactions. No one reacted negatively to this game. As you can see, we're still playing the 4-1-3-2, 4-4-2 variant that we've played basically the whole way. And they will trot out a 4-2-3-1. And so Arnold opens it up, taking back to the center backs. Bradley Green over to Egan. Up to Rabbits, who works down the sideline. Up to Al-Hamidi, who's playing as a target man for us. Unfortunately, we lose possession, and they start moving things the other way. And apparently nothing exciting happens as we cut to black. We come back just a minute later. We're throwing it in. O'Sullivan plays it up to Arnold. Cuts it back, looks for a man, but in the process, they clear it. We do have several players up top, not really pressing hard into the offensive action. Both the center backs and both the full backs are either on defend or support. No one's trying to get forward. Al-Hamidi tries to play it forward to Arnold, but again lost. But again, they make these long passes out that we are there for. They really need to actually play into the middle ground and work it past us with dribbling and smart passing. Just trying to blast it from defenders and goalies past our back line generally has not been successful. Benham gets it forward. Arnold, goal! Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 2 minutes in, assuming they don't take it away. And we will take an early lead in this one. Skip the replay. Good, good, good. As you can see, our focus of attacks is going down the sides as we expect. Theirs is more balanced. 15 minutes in, and we see another highlight. They start with possession, again, working it down the pitch with small movements and passes. As I said, what you need to do. Trying to beat us on that final bat. Egan cuts him off of Beauchamp's hands. Beauchamp is still not actually on contract, being paid per appearance. I would like to rectify that. I do intend to keep him at the next level if we get promoted, knocking on wood. His attributes, close one. We have given up way too many penalties recently, in particular in that exact area. Danger free kick. No one marks him. Luckily, as a wall blocks it and gets cycled out. Yeah, back to Beauchamp. His attributes don't really support him being a great goalie, but the results have been impossible to ignore. He's done fantastically for us. Obviously, the other teams haven't had great chances, but he just keeps making save after save. So in this case, I will ignore my first instincts to just chase good attributes and go with the horse who brought us here. Hickman on the free kick. Oh, so close to giving us a 2-goal lead. Again, they clear it out. We have both of our fullbacks stationed back in situations like that to chase down the ball and reset play. We'll see another one of their highlights. This time they do more successfully play it forward into the gap. Hopefully Egan, again, takes away the angle. Beauchamp does a good job getting big and making the save. Corner. Again, we our pair of center backs, Bradley Green and Egan, do a great job of making sure that teams just don't score on corners on us, because they are two relatively big lads for the level with good attributes when it comes to jumping reach and heading. Callum Hart, the assistant manager, advised that we work the ball into the box. We'd taken that setting off previously. Unfortunately, the boys tend to just blast away when you do that sometimes, leading to low quality chances, which is why I usually have it turned on, but they were just playing around too much, not taking enough opportunities previously, so we moved it off. We will obviously reassure the team, say they're doing well, think they can do even better. We will encourage, in particular, the defensive line with our lead, saying they've done well, but they can do even better. I'm not really sure how they can do better, given they didn't let in any goals. They can't really let in negative goals. That man is wildly offside. And Beauchamp saves it anyways. That's why Beauchamp's the man. Another highlight starting on their side of the pitch. Egan comes all the way forward, plays it up to Al-Hamidi, loses it, but then we recycle possession. Rabbits down the sideline, plays it to Benham. He's an inverted winger, good right foot, not left, so cross here may be low quality, and it is. To go straight to the goalie, who will probably again look to try and play it long and split our center backs, but luckily they're all the way back. We head it out to O'Sullivan, looks to initiate the break up to Hickman, who can play as a right back or right midfielder. Eaton is our one replacement for the Ollie Knowles, who we lost in the great set-to-release scandal of 2022. Again, I believe Jessup was offsides. Either way, Beauchamp makes it so that we don't have to worry about that. We will shout encouragement at the boys. They will probably take that poorly because player interactions are a little broken in this game. Too often you'll just give positive feedback to players who deserve it, and they will get outraged about this. Apparently everyone has a prickly personality. Hickman forward to Arnold. Arnold with the speed. Bring it in. There's unfortunately nothing to do with it, really. He takes the end line. Centers it. Wakefield. Diving save by Yates. See, we got some negative reaction to encouraging him. Like, it back in my last save in FM19, it was a little broken the other way. If you just Al-Hamidi to Arnold, uses his speed, trying to find an angle. Yates saves it. Arnold gets the deflection. Unfortunately, again, no one to play it to here, and he is dispossessed, and Gainsborough will go the other way. In FM19, as I was saying, things went the opposite way. You just hit the Get Creative button, and the players would be happy. Arnold into Eaton, rips it, and that will give us a 2-0 lead. Lots of space here, and that is a good thing because if we do win this, then the next game will be just in 3 days or so, as opposed to the usual. It's been very steady, just one game a week for the last several months. So we haven't had to worry about fitness issues of having to play twice a week. And now when we are having these depth issues is a problematic time for us to have to play 2 games in 1 week. And 2 biggest games of the year, frankly. Beauchamp will initiate action for us, 68th minute. We will probably make all 3 substitutes here. The question is identifying what players are most important to give some rest to, but that we can afford to take off so that we don't surrender our lead. So I am obviously more inclined to take off offensive players, perhaps one of the strikers. Hickman sends the ball nowhere. Luckily, they just wildly kick to our back line. Bradley Green up to Arnold. Can he make it 3? No, off Yates' hands. Come on, Arnold. You got to finish that for us. Make it 3-0 so I don't have to sweat this out at all. Benham sends it into the box. Previously, we've been playing all of our corners short to our center backs. Adding Al-Hamidi to the team, we've given more flexibility to the corner taker to go to the center backs on the near post or Al-Hamidi on the far post. We will sit Benham here and bring in Brigadier, again, also as an inverted winger, as he's right-footed. Eaton, sure, we'll bring in Jack Mann, and we will sit Al-Hamidi for Sam Ashton. And those will be our 3 saves. They launch a ball. Beauchamp comes down with it. Happy with the ballot mentality. In about 12 minutes or so of game time, we We'll probably shift it back to a cautious mentality. Be more precise with our passing. Don't make as ambitious passes into space. Just try and hold on to possession. Good cross there. Headed over the net. Not really a threat. Rabbits will start off possession here. We did make a change in the tactical approach up to Arnold. Again, uses speed, but has terrible passing and just wildly loses it. Luckily, they just blast it the other way when they have no one close to retrieve it. Anyways, I made a tactical change where I previously had been playing with one of my fullbacks on attack, trying to get him up. And in my preferred 4-3-3, technically slightly different than that, but it's functionally 4-3-3. Ashton forward, chips the goalie off the woodwork. I like to play with that, but at this level, it wasn't doing anything. The players aren't good enough to be a defensive player who's also creative, and it was running the fullback who was in that slot up and down the pitch too much. Now, as I noted earlier, they just tend to sit at midfield. And Greaves scores a long shot from outside the box. I'm going to want to take a look at exactly what happened here. Plays it forward. Thomas, Jessup, out to Greaves, and O'Sullivan just does not do a good enough job marking him. Plays him outside for some reason when there's no reason to. He needs to get inside and cut his angles, and possibly get a foot in there. 2-1 lead. We're not going to panic. We're not going to change anything. The best recipe to win this game is to score another goal. Ashton with a lousy cross. Cycled out, back to our back line. Bradley Green will bring it forward. Played out to O'Sullivan. Chips it forward to Arnold. Header. Ashton. Not turned well. Up to Arnold. Off the post and trickles in. Whew. I was worried that it would just skitter along the goal line and the goalie would be able to turn and grab it and deny us. And yet, instead, we get that decisive 2-goal margin again. Whew. Calm down. Arnold will play it out to Hickman, who dispossesses his opponent who'd briefly grabbed it. Racing for the end line. Crosses it. No one home, but Mann will recycle. Unfortunately, those two, Mann and Wakefield, far too close together to be effective. Rabbits advancing up the field. Not in a way we've really conditioned to him. Arnold is so good. Love this kid. Third goal. Completely taking away our sweat. Wish, as we had in the last game of the year, that he'd done it all in the first 50 minutes of the game, so wouldn't have to be nervous up to the 82nd minute, but what can you do? Since we have a 3-goal lead, we will not go back and play defensive football. We will instead just continue what has been working. 3 minutes of stoppage time. They're going to play it around. They're obviously going to be desperate looking. Egan marking a single man. Not even marking a man because Bradley Green had their single striker. Again, it's just one reason I don't particularly like single striker formations at this level. There's not enough people putting pressure on the defense at the same time. It's really just, can you get to that guy trying to break between the two center backs? And too often the answer is no, because it's just lumping it forward. As you can see, it was kind of successful there, but because they would close on him so fast, he had to just turn and blast and was all kinds of off target. Beauchamp will play it up to Hickman, 92-36. This is probably the last highlight, and hopefully our boys just play out the game and the ref can blow the whistle. And we can look to Arnold. Fourth? Okay, Devin Arnold wanted a fourth goal. That's fair. He's so good. He's so good. He boomed him. So that is 2 straight games of 4 goals apiece for Devin Arnold, really turning it on when we need it most. We can only hope that he does the same in the upcoming game. So we will go into that game once this one finishes. Once I continue through several menus, ignoring anything else that might come up. As you can figure it out, I am not about to try and learn video editing to make this a cleaner production. What it is what it is. All right. Apparently they had a decent time of it with the XG, but Devin Arnold was not going to take no for an answer, and we turned under 2 XG into 5 goals. All right. Let's praise him. Great work, guys. I guess we need to attend the press conference. Ooh, 2 different journalists here. Ho, ho, ho. Aren't we so fancy now? Yes, I'm delighted by the win. Devin Arnold's great. I don't want to comment on individuals. They scored 1 goal. Why am I going to praise their guy? I don't want to comment on speculation. I don't know who Harry Lee is. We don't know anything about him. He's a goalkeeper for Exeter who is in the Sky League 2, so it's a little intriguing. He might be good. He's only 17, but I don't know where that story's come from, literally. We scored a lot from crosses. Well, that's because the engine seems to favor crosses this year, and we don't have good enough players to create individually. So, yeah, but that's how we play soccer. Devin Arnold's been great. Yep. All right. Just fine press conference. I'm fine with that. Devin Arnold, praise. You were amazing, kid. Usually we'd go through the scouting update, filter off the last couple players. We will not do it here. We're just pressing forward. We obviously have a large number of trials here that are expiring. Some of them are players I am interested in. Others are not. The draw should be here on the 27th. The game will be on the 29th. Thankfully, before our game, we will just tell them to send a summary to our inbox instead of going through the team meeting here. Okay, we're just trying to race through this. Doesn't look like there's anything. It's all random. And so we will face against 3rd place team from our own division, Weston Supermare. Excuse me. It will take place in Huish Park. I wish here it would, oh. Okay, apparently this is the stadium for Yeovil. I just feel like a city would be nice on this screen. I'm going to amend our training. We do not have the luxury of training hard. We need to rest our guys. So we will do match preview there, and we will do just some team bonding. Let's actually flip the order of that. Match preview. Again, we don't want to do any work, and here we'll do team bonding. Bring the boys together, and then look forward to the match, as opposed to doing any field work. Because again, short turnaround, we don't have any depth, we're not going to rotate, so we just want to get those legs as fresh as we can for the game. We will attend this press conference. Yes, we have a psychological advantage. Yes, we think we should win. Let's be neutral about that. I'm confident as long as we stick to our game plan. I don't know if we're going to sign that guy or not. Actually, I'm pretty sure we're not going to sign that guy, but we're not going to say that. That would be rude. Don't be rude to players who you might need down the line if we misjudge things. We are interested in McLennan. His trial is finished. But again, we don't have roster space. Two of our players are on kind of absurd contracts for this level. Wakefield and Benham are getting paid $40K a year. Yes, I go per year, not per week. And while they've been very good players for me, Benham in particular, they are not worth that kind of money, so I will be letting them go. Or letting them go. I might try and bring them back at a reduced price, but I cannot continue to justify them at that price. I need that salary space for other players. I can get at least 3 or 4 quality players for that price, as opposed to just the 2 of them. It thinks I should flip the center backs. Also, he's getting afraid and thinks we should go to cautious mentality. We will not do that. If anything, I'm inclined to push to positive as always, but we'll let it go on a balanced mentality. Again, same lineup as usual, and we'll submit the team for the all-important game to earn ourselves promotion to the Vanarama National League South. Press that guy. Yep, if we play as well as we did last time, we'll do well. They seem to respond well to that. And here we are in a very green stadium. Our typical formation. We are not a team that chops and changes. And Western Supermare will roll out a 4-2-3-1, just like our last opponents did, Gainsborough. We are in road blues, despite the fact that we should be the higher seed, and thus, I don't know, we should be able to wear the jerseys that we want. We're the whites, we should be wearing our whites. What can we do? 5 minutes in, they are completing more passes and have had the possession dominant so far, and here they have a free kick. Beauchamp runs out and catches it easily. There's space on the right. I'd like them to get it out to, or all the way up to Benham on the far left. Windows available there. He's going to try and get to touch. Sends it across with a right-footed cross. Back to Wakefield. O'Sullivan will get it, bring it up along the right side. He is proper-footed across it here. Does so. Al-Hamidi, unfortunately, heads it over the goal. I believe, along with promotion, there's about $18,000 here, which actually at this level makes a big difference. They try and break past 2 guys, and completely unsuccessful. We send it back to Beauchamp to reinitiate our attack. O'Sullivan up to Hickman, plays it up to Arnold. Lots of pace, not great decision making, but in this case, plays it well across the pitch to Benham. Again, Benham is a right-footed player, so his cross was better that time with his left, but still not enough to Hickman coming into the box from his right wing perspective. Benham will take the corner. Bradley Green, not quite what we're looking for, but we do get to the ball and can recycle possession. Hickman will bring it up, again right-footed. Al-Hamidi, unfortunately, heads it over the goal again. We'll take another corner here. Benham apparently is taking all corners from both sides. Generally prefer in-breakers. That would be an outbreaker there on that side, but we have limited talent at corners. Benham, probably in good position here, getting to use his strong right foot. O'Sullivan back to reinitiate, plays it all the way forward to Arnold, into the middle. Benham bangs it home. 1-0 lead, Salisbury. And they take it away. But why? I didn't deserve this. Apparently Arnold was offside, but not that we could see it from that angle given how far the ball was played forward. Brutal. We've had a little better of the XG, doubling them up, but it's 0.26 to 0.13. Hickman from the spot, well, not from the spot, but from a spot, sends it over the top. They do have had more possession, even though we've had more highlights. They must just be having a kickabout in the backfield, which, is ideal. We don't play a heavy press like we would at higher levels. A little good give and go. Plays it all the way across the box, plays it back across again. Luckily, we get possession, hand it into Beauchamp, who clears it, and we grab possession. Rabbits will bring it up the left side. I think he's going to have to turn it back. Nope, cuts it into Wakefield. Up to Benham. Let's see if Benham can do anything. Pivots. Uh, Beautiful little chipped attempt, but Robertson blocks it. As you can see, I generally think the movement in this edition of Football Manager is actually really, really improved. I really like watching actually the gameplay, with the sole exception of how some players backpedal. I think that looks a little artificial, but everything else, you see players move, and they move in anticipation of a ball that hasn't yet come, or a shot that's coming, and even if it gets blocked, a goalkeeper or a dive, which might put him out of position, but it's very naturalistic in that way. We obviously had some good attempts there late that we couldn't quite get there, but Callum thinks we should lecture him. I don't think that is the right answer here. I'm going to say that they shouldn't lose faith, that we've created chances, keep going, scoreboard will eventually reflect it. I got 2 positive responses and no negatives, so I'll take that as a win. Egan's down at a 6.5, but the backup is not better. Al-Hamidi is a 6.6. Ashton could be an option. He's played well for us all year. But we'll see if he needs to be a super sub later to give us a winner. Hickman just tries to, nutmeg the opposition, and it just completely doesn't, and they take possession. I believe this is Bradley Green here on the left now. Egan doing a good job cutting. That guy is offside. Blast it away anyways. Minutes. I don't like this. But Beauchamp easily saves it. Easily. Oh, well, he made it look easy. Only 1 card so far. Hickman's running out of gas. They want me to replace him with my wing substitute. Oh, Egan over the net in the corner. I will think about it. We will go to extra time if this game is still tied after 90. I need to... Okay, he's a 5 at taking... And if it's tied after extra time, then it goes to PKs, and that will be a complete utter crapshoot. In that regard, I really don't want to bring on Kawado here, as he is a 1 at penalty taking. Not someone that we can really trust in that regard. Cut that screen. I think we might have to, just to try and get a goal before then. Wakefield is tired, which is unfortunate. Important player. It's not having the best of days. Hickman's just not having the best of days. Let's go ahead and make that change. Let's try and solve this game in regulation, or at least extra time, as opposed to letting it go to PKs. None of them are good at PKs. That's worrisome. Let's go ahead and make the change. As you can see, we not good players that we brought on, but Hickman had been struggling, so we'll figure any replacement basically give us what he was giving us, and we just need a moment of brilliance from Devin Arnold or Ali Al-Hamidi. The guy's gonna play it forward to Arnold. Hopefully Arnold's kept himself on sides. Doesn't look like the flag came up. They recycle it out. O'Sullivan plays it well forward. Arnold, header, but to nowhere. Also offsides. We do have 1 sub remaining. If injury strikes, though, we don't exactly have a ton of options. Plays it forward. At least Bugwe Kwai has some gas left in some feet. Man forward. And how it would have been if our 2 loney replacements in that I didn't want to make scored us the goal that won us the game. I would like that very much at this point. I would take any goal at this point. An own goal? Sure, I'm interested. Again, plays it forward to Arnold. Too far, though. Robertson scoops it up. I'm keeping this 3rd sub in my back pocket. Injury. Or if somehow Al-Hamidi plays it forward to Arnold. Unfortunately, they grab it. I was hoping Arnold would dispossess there. If they somehow I don't want to say it right now with them on attack. Modon plays it out. If they do score a goal and I need to go 3 up top to try and force a significant attack, to play more people into attack to try and get a equalizing goal, then we'll need to take off probably the defensive midfielder and bring on Ashton as a striker. I kick about in the middle of the pitch. 3 minutes of stoppage time available. O'Sullivan brings it up the right wing. There is space here. Crosses it. Back post Benham over the top. There was a highlight very briefly on the short side that didn't go anywhere. O'Sullivan up to Arnold, up to Benham. Can we find an opportunity here? Benham in. Al-Hamidi just wasn't in a good spot. To Man, as you see the goalie there, dove. And apparently Arnold was offside at some point. And it looks like they are set to time wasting. They are happy to go to extra time. As you can see, we have a XG of 1.81. We created a fair number of attempts that they did not, particularly in the second half. Pretty static. Well, they created more in the second half than they did in the first. Their first half was nothing. But we were unlucky to get any of them to go in. Again, I'm not going to dog the boys. I don't think that's generally... Let's reference the fans. The fans are up for this match. We need to match their passion. Do them justice. Nothing, but at least we didn't upset anyone. That's what I'm just as concerned about as anything. Let's start extra time. I would be very happy if this highlight just cut here. Oh, don't have anything more exciting to show you since they have possession. Yep. Let's give them an encourage. On all square, encourage teams to do well. And hey, they light up. They're a positive reaction. And there is the injury that we were keeping this substitution for. Unfortunately, we are out of players that really feel comfortable playing along the wing, given we are short-handed. We don't even have we don't have any fullback backups. If we did, I'd move Rabbits forward and play our substitute at left back. I think, given the score, we're more concerned about trying to find a goal. So I'm inclined to put in Ashton, even though he is not. Okay, we could play him. Okay, we will mess with the formation. We will put Ashton in, and we'll play him up as an inverted winger from the attacking mid-left here. And we will move our ball-winning midfielder to defensive only. Keep him back further to hopefully cover this gap we've just created. Alright, confirm change. And we have hit the halftime of extra time. I'm going to start it, and we are actually going to move up to positive since we've put on an extra attacking player. I really would rather this not go to the lottery that is penalty kicks. So I'm willing to sell out a little and try and create the opportunity we need to end this in extra time as opposed to letting it go to that. Trying to cut off Humphreys. Cross, no good. Eaton forward to Ashton. Lumps it forward. Al-Hamidi should win that, but doesn't. Grubb had been playing on the left. They've flipped him over to the right now. He seemed like one of the more dangerous players. Doing a good job staying on him, despite Ashton being playing as. Come on, man. Put your flag up. As I say that, we just give him enough space from midfield, and apparently he was onside, and Bradley Green can't keep up with him on his dead legs. Tight offside. Does that mean he was actually offside and they just screwed it up? I mean, I'll probably raise hell about it because there's no reason not to in the post game if it comes down to it, but well, let's demand more. We've got 10 minutes to try and find a goal. Not like this. At Egan's foot, plays it forward. Arnold getting under it. Come on, man. All right, corner. I don't know who will take our corner since Benham's out. Looks like it's Rabbits. Right into the middle, no man's land. Robertson easily comes down with it. Yeah, he's offsides. One minute of stoppage, and they have possession. That's not a good sign. Center back tracking all the way out to the edge there. Playing out to Grubb. We'll look to cross. Nope, look like he's going to just run to the corner. Burn time. Up top, plays over the top. We need to hurry now. Oh, no. Unfortunately, apparently went off Beauchamp's hands. And I don't think the ref is going to give us a chance to equalize on a long break. Sure, whatever instructions you want, buddy. And you get to see this heartbreaking, unjustified defeat. I have to be a bit down on here. We let that slide through our grasp. How can we let that happen? That is brutal. That is 100% brutal. I will not show you me yelling at the goalkeeper. I will no, I want match report. It does appear he was onside when the pass was made. Killing me. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing this brutal bad beat. And I guess we will be back in the Southern Premier Division South Premier Division South next year. Thank you for watching. Please leave any thoughts or comments you may have.